Good evening, fiends. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlour podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie, joined with my awesome and amazing co-host, my best friend, the one and only Bud motherfucking Veno.
Oh, Rowland, Nicole, and Bud Veno, the dynamic duo. Air date of the show, September 12th, 2020, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Rhiannon, you look ravishing tonight, per usual.
Thank you. You look gorgeous as well.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Show number 3, Rhiannon. We're excited. We're going to go organic tonight. We decided, what are we going to do? We're going to just have a show where we talk about different movies. I've had some people behind the scenes say, I love your shows, but we've had some great shows so far with Chris Duran and Mr. Larry Zerner.
They're amazing.
Friday the 13th, 3, and Halloween H2O, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some people say, we love it, and we want to see you guys break down some movies. So, Rhiannon, we said, what movie? And I think pretty instantly you came up with one, and I loved it. Oh. What was it, Rhiannon? I'll let you do it.
It is 2003's Freddy versus Jason. I got Freddy. You got both.
Yeah. Well, and as I told Rhiannon before the show, I was trying to think of a shirt because I knew she would, it wasn't planned, but I knew that she would probably wear a Freddy shirt. So I was looking for the appropriate Jason shirt, and I have a couple. Mm-hmm. But then I remembered I have the Freddy versus Jason shirt, so I figured. I've got a couple of those too, but this is one of my favorites.
I only have Freddy. He's my guy.
I've got a couple of Freddy shirts too. I have a really cool 84 part 1, and I have another one that's kind of a part 2-ish, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so how you been, Rhiannon? We haven't been on the air and we took a little hiatus.
We did, but we, with everything that's been going on as far as we've been busy and working and sick and...
Labor Day.
Yeah, we're like migraine buddies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell Rhiannon that if we were women, we'd share periods. we would line up.
Would.
But we line up with migraines, and I asked Rhiannon, I said, Rhiannon, can we use the word cunty on the air? And she said, well, we can say whatever we want, because the other morning I had a massive migraine. It was 4 a.m., and it wasn't directed toward Rhiannon at all. We were very respectful, but I was kind of cunty. I was in a mood. So I said, Rhiannon, so I tell people sometimes I can get into a bad mood too. So can we say cunty on the air that I was being cunty the other day? And she said, absolutely.
Yeah,
say it.
Let's say cunty.
So I was. And Rhiannon was a good friend, and she pulled me out of it, and I pull her out of it sometimes, but the other morning you pulled me out of it, Rhiannon, so I thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for always doing it with me, too. Because we'll, bitch back and forth to each other, back and
yeah, well, it was the migraine, too. And it was one of those things where I'd had it, and I had a massive mouth issue, which I'm lucky. I got to get that checked out, too. But it cleared itself up, and I'm still alive, but I was in a mood. I hadn't slept much, either.
Yeah.
And we caught some of it at 4 a.m., and I told Allison when she woke up, too. I said, hey, just so you know, you're not the only one that catches it. I didn't direct this toward Rhiannon, but I was in a mood this morning, so it wasn't just you. And she said, well, tell her that I can empathize. I said, well, I will.
I see all these, what was it, 9 or 10 voice messages, and I was like, oh, and I'm just opening my eyes. I'm like, holy crap.
Well, it was funny, because I fell back asleep, and I had forgotten kind of about it. So I saw your responses, I love you, and this and that. I hope you feel better, and you'll call me, whatever. It took me a half of some. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was really in a mood at 4 a.m. I said, so thank you for listening to me then. So she said,
anytime. That's what I'm here for.
It was good. It was good. And I told Rhiannon later that day, I think it was. I said, Rhiannon, this is going to make for good. We'll just tell this part of the show.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up on the air.
Yep.
Show our human fallibility.
That we have cunty moments.
We do. We all do. But it brought us to Freddy versus Jason.
Yes.
2003 release, Rhiannon. Mm-hmm. And I believe you saw that in the theater as well, you said, right?
I did, yep. So with Halloween, we had talked before with Chris, I saw the H2O and then the 2018. Those are the only ones I actually saw in the theater. But then with Nightmare on Elm Street, this is one of the only ones I saw in the theater, as a new release. I've seen the original one just when they re-release it every couple years. They'll put it in the theater. Mm-hmm. But this is the very first one that was like, holy shit, this is out. I'm going to go see it. And I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I saw it in the theater. I went alone, I remember, in 2003. And I kind of wanted to go alone. It was before I knew Allison, a few years before. And I was really able to focus. I enjoyed it. I'm a purist, but I still enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like that Ronnie Yu, the director's kind of Japanese influence with the overblown blood. And I loved it. It was fun. I thought it was a really fun movie.
Yeah, me too. And it's like, I just thought it was a really good idea how they mixed them together. Even, a lot of people didn't like the story behind it. I liked the story. I thought it fit and I thought it went well.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of plot holes, but I've talked to Allison about this too. She's sleeping. Maybe she tiptoed, like she would make a lot of noise or something. But thank you, baby. But I told her, and she likes to point out this at times too, because sometimes I'll get really annoyed with plot holes. That makes no sense, but as she says, and I agree, it's a movie. Just have fun with it. And Freddy vs. Jason it's supposed to be fun. It was fun. It's nostalgic. It brings up, and there are some plot holes, but there aren't a lot of movies. That's why it's a movie. You're allowed to do that. It's fantasy. Yeah. Some people get upset with the plot holes. I'm like, wait. You're upset with this plot hole that isn't reality, but Jason the killer, who's been resurrected a million times, and Freddy, who's dead, none of it based in reality. Mm-hmm. The fact that Jason can't get from A to B in reality that quick is the problem. Again, have fun with it.
Yeah, I really liked how in the beginning Freddy is like telling the story of who he was and what he did and how he's trying to come back and he's using Jason. I loved how they started it that way. His voice is
I love that. Yeah, I love that beginning. Mm-hmm. I do too. And again, the idea of it, I know, was at the end of Adam Marcus's Jason Goes to Hell was when you see Freddy's glove come up out of the ground and pull Jason's mask down. And there were times, I believe it was Friday the 13th Part 7 in 1988 was originally supposed to be that Freddy versus Jason, but they couldn't get it done in terms of lawyers and everything else, so they came up with the Jason versus Carrie kind of thing with Friday the 13th Part 7 of New Blood. With the whole telekinesis and all that.
Oh, okay.
So, and then later, Adam Marcus, I believe, I know that with Freddy's glove coming up and pulling Jason's mask down at the end, I believe they thought they were going to have something done too around that point. And then Jason X ended up coming out as well, and things like that. So, when Freddy vs. Jason came out, there were certain things I don't think that could be filled, and the way they did the beginning, getting back to that, I think it brought everything up to date real quick in the quickest possible way, in the quickest possible, most simplistic way Freddy could bring him back and make it make sense and just get right into the action without too much drawn out of how he got involved with Jason. It just back into it. But I loved it. It got it going right away.
I just wonder how he knew who Jason was.
Again, a plot hole. See, this is where fan films come into it too, Rhiannon, because you could start writing from that perspective, and things like that. So I want to see it, Rhiannon. You're the writer.
I am the writer, but I don't want to do a fan film.
No, me either. Too much work. No, we'll just act in it.
Yeah,
but
see, that would work.
And write some stuff too. Yeah, so good stuff. I think it's a lot of fun.
Freddy versus Jason or fan film?
Freddy versus Jason.
Yes. It's one that I can watch over and over. The Idaho Horror Film Festival will do these events throughout the year, and they'll show like some of the older movies. And you go to the brewery or different areas, and they'll play it like in the back of the brewery up on the wall. And I went last year and saw this one again, and I was like, "Fuck! I forgot how much I really love this film."
Yeah,
you get all excited, and you're all got like chills and shit.
Well, I love having them both in the movie. I like the fight scene. I know a lot of people were up in arms with Kane Hodder not getting the role of Jason. I understand. If you look, I think a lot of people have different opinions on why he didn't get it and the different politics involved. But if you look at Robin Englund's height, being, I believe, right around 5'10", 5'11", I think they wanted someone in Jason that towered over him. And I think Kane Hodder, he's a good size. I think he would have, but I think they wanted someone at the time that was kind of that Frankenstein type of huge.
Big.
And Ken Krinzinger fit that bill, who, ironically, as you may or may not know, Kane Hodder threw into, over a counter in a diner into a big glass window, and Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the 13th, Part 8.
Oh.
Ken Krinzinger, was it? I always get it wrong. Ken Krinzinger, isn't it? Krinzinger? Kurzinger.
I'm not sure.
Kurzinger, that's what it is. I looked it up. K-I-R Zinger. But in Jason Takes Manhattan, there's a scene where a chef comes out of the back, because Jason bust through this diner window,
Mm-hmm.
and this big chef comes out to try and take on Jason. Jason throws him into the glass. That was Ken Prinzinger, who played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Who came through, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't know that. For the longest time, I thought Kane Hodder did play it. But then I heard,
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff about it wasn't him, and people were pissed off about that. But
Yeah. Well, everything happens for a reason, as we said with Chris Durant.
yeah.
So. But Kane Hodder was awesome in 7 and the other 4 he did. So
Mm-hmm.
hats off to him for that. But I didn't think a lot of people didn't like the sympathetic Jason in Freddy vs. Jason, making him that kind of almost a kind of sad little boy, kind of with the eyes and the way the mask was in the face. I dug it. I thought it was cool.
Well, yeah, because he kind of seemed, he's got those like mother issues, and I don't know a lot about Friday the 13th, but I mean, isn't that kind of why he's on the warpath and shit, because of his mom? So I mean, that is kind of a sentimental type thing.
Well, yeah, it is. And the other ones make Jason more of a. I think they did that with Freddy vs. Jason more glaring because, remember, Freddy's a kid killer, a child killer, a teen killer.
Oh.
So I think they wanted to make Jason almost seem like one of his victims,
Yeah.
in the sense, and almost make it like with Jason kind of fighting back, and then him. It was a whole. I think they purposely brought the emotion out of the characters visually more so. I mean, Robert Englund was always Freddy looked like Freddy.
Yeah.
But Jason, I think they wanted to split sides and really have you root for somebody. I think. So.
Yep. I thought it was just done so good. The fight scene, though, I loved the fight scene, and the music that they added to that scene was just like, yeah, fucking let's go.
The soundtrack's pretty badass. I bought the soundtrack when it came out in 03 as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the CD. Yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the soundtrack. It rocked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. I like the whole thing. I like the fight scene too, and I like from where it started. I love the where they're poking Jason. Jason breaks the guy's neck, and then he catches on fire, and then he's going after everybody. And that's kind of where the whole thing really gets good at the end.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I've watched it quite a few times. It's a fun one around this time of year as we creep up toward Halloween.
I know. I'm so excited. Except everything's
Speaking of Chris
canceled.
Durant, yeah. He said that, he was upset because Halloween's been canceled out there in L.A. I don't know if you saw his post.
I don't think I saw his post, but I've been hearing, because I have a lot of family down there, I've been hearing a lot about it. Everything's closed down. Everything.
Yeah. It didn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to have Chris on around Halloween if he's not out killing people.
He'll have time.
He's not allowed out. And I saw a meme, I don't know if it was his or somebody else's. It's like, this year Michael Myers is going to be walking around. He has no one to kill, and he's going to get yelled at for wearing a mask by certain people. So, he can't win. But, yeah. But I talked to Chris the other day because we had talked to him about coming back on and reviewing a movie at some point. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll have him, my mind's going as I digress a little bit, but maybe we'll have him review like the original Halloween with us.
That'd be cool.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll talk to him about it, see if something he would like to do.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's amazing. That was so much fun.
Yeah. We'll do it again. So we'll give a shout out to Chris, because I know. So you see what I'm doing? I'm locking him in.
Yeah, Chris, you're coming on, right?
Watch, Rhiannon, watch how it works. Rhiannon, how amazing would it be to have Chris back on around Halloween?
Oh,
Wouldn't it make our dreams come true?
Yes, that's all I want for Halloween.
I remember you were crying thinking about him not doing it. So we're not trying to make you feel guilty, Chris. But please, I don't want to hear Rhiannon crying again that you might not come on Halloween. So please, let's do it, Chris.
And we'll both get migraines if you don't. That's not good.
It isn't. Mine, I was actually happy because it was one of those situations, Rhiannon, we get those same sort of migraines when we kind of know they're coming and we know they're going to get bad.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of tried to stay motionless toward the end of when we were going to come on, like hours before, because but it kind of went away.
Good.
Yeah, it did. I feel a lot better. So again, I think it was your energy.
Oh.
You said, no, bud, not tonight.
Release
We're doing that. Right, I can feel it. See, I can feel it. You're pushing, not too hard. You'll push me right out of the chair. No, it's good. It's good.
Good. I'm glad.
So, Yeah,
like, oh,
so
man.
I feel good. So we're going to do a lot more. We have some more guests planned in the future, too, Rhiannon. We have some people that we're working on, people we're locking in times for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be fun, and we want to break it up with this, and it's been fun so far.
Yeah, we'll kind of keep everybody on their toes. Do some me and you, do some with guests, do me and you, some with guests.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Yeah, well, one of the people that told me that they want to see us review some movies is my friend John Lundy, who I've mentioned before, and I grew up with him in Nashville, New Hampshire, which is the southern part of New Hampshire, not far off from Boston.
Oh, okay.
And he had mentioned it a few times about us reviewing some movies. So part of this comes from John's inspiration and some other people out there too, but John has said it for a while now. So, John, I'm making your dreams come true today and tonight. So John likes to listen to us while he's at work. He works from home, so he'll put us on usually like Monday morning. He'll watch the shows. He's always done that.
Aww.
And John and I have known each other since we were kids, young kids.
Nice. Thank you, John. That's awesome.
He's a good man. He's a good man. He's a good friend. Good. So yeah, and so we're doing this Freddy versus Jason review. Is it a review, or is it just a breakdown, or just our opinion? What do we call it?
All of the above. I don't know if it's so much a review, but it's like we're talking about it because we both love it, and we're just kind of talking about points about it.
Maybe we should talk. You should disagree with me on something, or I'll disagree with you just for effect.
Oh.
No, it's good. I was actually hoping. I've read a few times, and somebody had shared something with me a couple years ago about Freddy versus Jason 2, and I know there's been a lot different talks and this and that. I would love to see something. I don't know what they would do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of part one, Freddy versus Jason of 03. Of course, Jason won that fight, Rhiannon.
I don't know about that.
Here we go. I threw one in. Because he walks out of the lake with Freddy's head, right? So you think he wins because Freddy's head's cut off. But he winks.
Yeah.
He winks. Freddy winks. So what do you make of that, Rhiannon? What happens right after that?
He winks like, yeah, this motherfucker ain't got shit. I'm coming back.
Right, but does he wink and then all of a sudden look down and realize he has no body and then go, oh shit, I'm just a head? Because he didn't really look down yet. He just kind of opened his up. Maybe he's like, oh shit, I'm about to get him. Oh shit, I'm just a head. I can't really do much. Just swear at Jason. He uses my head as a bowling ball. He plays beach bowling on the side of the lake. I don't know.
No, I bet it was a wink being like, yeah, you guys think that he won, but I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Is that the dream world? Maybe it was a dream world, and Freddy goes and comes back. We just kind of.
Yeah.
What does my youngest kid call it? I don't know. He calls it something where they metamorphose. I don't know the kid jargon. I just pretend I do to seem cool, but I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. But I think it just ends up where Jason just tosses Freddy's head in the water when he gets fully out, and Freddy's head drowns because he has no arms or legs, so he can't even doggy paddle.
He can't even doggy paddle.
So he's in big trouble.
Yeah, but then if he dies, he's going to end up going back to the dream world anyways, so he'll be himself again.
Well, there's a forever argument, Rhiannon, on who won. And it was pretty even.
It was pretty even.
They both bleed like a MFer, if you notice at the end. My lord.
Yeah. Yep. It was a tie.
Well, it was kind of a good thing. I watched the Cinema Snob review on it. I love Cinema Snob. Brad Jones, anyone out there, go to YouTube, check out Cinema Snob. Brad's the best. But he talked about like the overabundance of blood. There was something else I was going to mention about Brad the Cinema Snob, but I just totally lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. I usually do that once a show, man. I full brain fart. And so I'll come back to it.
And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Remember 45 minutes ago? This is what I was going to say.
That's usually what happens. Or it's when I'm trying to, explain it because I do it on purpose because all of a sudden it'll come right back in. But sometimes it's right at the end. So if I hard cut you and interrupt you later, that's fine.
Okay. That's okay.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah. I was going to say, so the main character, I can't remember her name. I think it's like Megan.
Monica Keena.
There you go. Did you see her in Night of the Demons, the remake?
No, I think it's something you had said to me a little while back, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, her and Edward Furlong, and I really liked her in that one too. She's a great actress.
Yeah, Edward Furlong has made a little bit of a comeback recently.
I know.
from what I've seen, which is good. You know, you like to see, hopefully people get themselves out of stuff and come back and do good things, because I know he had his share of personal problems, as we all do.
Yeah.
We're all human, so hopefully he can bounce back too with that.
Yeah.
I liked him, always did as an actor, but I'll have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I still have to, what was the one you mentioned? You mentioned one, actually, on the show I was a guest on, where the whole legacy began of us becoming awesome partners. But my friend John mentioned it, actually, the movie. He said, oh, that movie Rhiannon mentioned. And you said it disgusted you. Is it like Night of the Centipedes or something?
Oh, the Human Centipede.
Yeah, I think that's what it was said. But John's like, oh, that is, he agreed with you. He said it was disturbing. And John, I know John, he's messed up. So if that disgusted him, he's like us. He's a little twisted. So he's like, oh, that's gross. Like,
yeah.
You know.
It's so fucking gross. I can really.
It's just called Centipede? That's it?
No, it's called the Human Centipede.
Oh, the Human Centipede. I thought it was something else.
Ugh, it's so fucking gross. Like, me and my mom.
Now I want to watch it.
Oh God, you should watch it just so I'm not the only one traumatized.
Yeah.
Me and my mom watched it, and it's one of those things where it's so gross and disturbing. And like, I've watched Hostel and Saw and all of those, and I can handle those. But this one, I was like, this is fucking bad.
Did you ever see Faces of Death?
Oh yeah, back in the when I was younger.
Yeah, I had friends of my family, these people that lived down the road from us when we moved to a different part of New Hampshire when I was younger, and it was a friend of my dad and his wife, but in their house they had Faces of Death, and I don't know what I was doing. I was playing with their kids or whatever one day, but I found a video cassette like in there or whatever, and I was real young, like not even double digits yet. I threw Faces of Death in. They didn't know. But anyone out there that knows anything of it, that's effed up. Like, it shows real, like I was real young. So, yeah, it bothered me. And then I stole it and watched it a million more times.
Oh.
So, no, it was definitely something you should not see as a kid and maybe even as an adult.
Yeah, that was bad.
But it was definitely when we were kids, Rhiannon. And I'm a little older than Rhiannon, so I'm not trying to make her seem as old as me, because she's not.
Oh, you're not that old. We're still young.
Spry and youthful. But when we were younger, remember, that was kind of like it was kind of like Two Live Crew back in the day. Like, everyone had to sneak it, watch it, but everyone knew about it, you know?
Yep, and everybody talked about it, too. Have you seen these Faces of Death?
You'll never be the same.
Yep, or Rotten.com. Do you remember that? Rotten.com?
Oh, yeah, Rotten.com. I used to, when I worked at the hospital, I've told you when I worked security, when there was downtime, or when I was working third shifts, it was like 3 in the morning. I would go on, I remember it was Ask Jeeves. Remember before like Google and everything was big, Ask Jeeves?
Yep.
And someone had said, oh, go into Rotten.com. And that you'd go there and look up real pics or whatever it used to be.
All kinds of shit.
Or whatever, yeah. And then I used to sit there and I'd get a call, I'm like, shit! I'd have to run out of the library of the hospital and go down to fight people to go to the ER and see the real bit.
Oh, man.
The pictures were better.
Yeah, there was some freaking nasty shit on there.
Yeah, because it wasn't just death. It was like weird, like, you know, here's a picture of John Smith who was trying to sniff the inside of this garbage disposal when his friend bumped into the back of it and crushed him. You know, it shows him like hanging out of it.
Yep, or people like shitting in their own faces. That was gross. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I had forgotten about that.
That was so fucking sick.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm going down memory lane, though.
Yeah.
See, these are wonderful things that shaped us, Rhiannon. One of the reasons we came to this point, doing shows and
oh, fuck, that was so gross.
Talking about shitting on each other.
God, I think that was like the worst part, because shit is just disgusting. And then watching them like shit
I'm not
on themselves.
I never understand people were into that sort of fetish thing either. I had a friend of mine, too, a buddy of mine, too, I mean, college. He came to me real serious. This is a real serious story, because he came to me real dead serious. And there's no offense to people who are into any sort of fetish. He was dating this girl. Right? And he really liked her. And she seemed nice, you know. Like, dude, you know, and he told me, he was like dead serious, this chick. He's like, I don't know what to do. She wants to lay in a bathtub and have me piss on her. Oh. And he's like, and I'm trying to be like a compassionate friend. You know, or I'm waiting for the punchline, but he didn't break seriously. So, I won't tell you what the advice was, but they didn't last too long. He wasn't overly comfortable with that. I think he was considering pushing his own thresholds of comfort, but it wasn't even a comfort threshold. It was just a yeah. I don't sexualize human waste. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, neither. I'd be pissed if someone pissed on me. I'd be very fucking mad.
But like I said, that was a tough thing trying to keep a straight face when he came to me with that one.
You're like, are you serious?
Trying to be a good friend. I don't know, piss on him. What do you say? I mean, you have a couple of choices, I guess. I mean, you either say no and leave or piss on him. I mean, what choice do you have? I guess like what kind of easy one. There's not much compromise in that. Can I just spray a little on you and then that would be good? No, it's one or the other.
Can I just pee on you in the shower?
Yeah, can I pee in the shower and then you can get in and roll in it? Compromise. I don't have to look at it.
Oh,
no, I'm going to do it looking right in the eye. Oh, see, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I've done that or would ever do that.
Yeah, I'm not hung up, but that's, yeah.
R. Kelly and that shit.
Yeah. Allison's probably listening from the other one. Yeah, you're damn right. Like, you're damn right you're not into that shit.
She's like, yeah, nope.
Yeah, but no, we've been together. Allison and I have been together. We're going to celebrate 12 years of marriage pretty soon. We've been together over 13 now.
Dang.
So those little freakish things would have already come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would have come out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or at least within years. So that's good. I don't have to worry about that.
So you're like on the home stretch now. You're good. You don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, I should be. I should be. Unless if she ever gets like dementia or anything, and then maybe that's like her new thing. But I'll be old at that point, shitting in my own pants, so I won't care. What the hell is this?
You're like, here, you want this?
Whatever. I won't even be able to see, so I'll be like, whatever. I won't care. We won't care. We'll be shitting in each other's pants.
In each other's pants.
She's shitting our pants. Well, we won't care.
We'll be shitting
I told her, I'm still gonna think you're hot even when you're back in diapers, honey. I'm still gonna grab you right by your depends. Absolutely.
Oh, fucking shit.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah, we were talking. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say now. No, my nose is all stuffed up. I'm like...
Oh, you got to get some of that Afrin nasal spray. I squirted some of that before the show just in case, because I felt stuffed. See? Mm-hmm. There's that sympathetic thing to our periods lined up again.
Yeah, exactly.
You got stuffiness.
Do you have cramps right now?
No, not right now, but I'll probably get some now. They're coming all the way there. It's got a few miles to travel.
Yeah.
So it takes a little time, but I'm sure I'll tighten up before the show's over.
You're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm cramping pretty bad.
Yeah, my God, I'm sitting here. You see me start to hunch over.
I was like, oh, it's hit him.
We're doing good. Yeah, so I have Allie's watched Freddy vs. Jason. She likes it too. It's a fun one. Getting back to FPJ. So I recommend it. I would give it the thumbs up, Rhiannon, in terms of recommending it for people who haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. It's entertaining, and it does pay homage on both sides as much as they could. I think they did the best they could for an hour and a half. And I don't mean that it's not a fun movie or, in my opinion, a good movie. What I mean is you had a lot you had to get in, and with the story, trying to figure out the best story with everybody involved, and I think they put out a pretty good product. It's fun, and Robert Englund's in it. I believe it's his last time playing Freddy, right? He hasn't done anything since that in terms of movies.
I know, but I heard that he wants to do another one. Like he's got another.
I've heard that too.
I hope so.
Put that out to Robert Englund. I've heard that too. So please, Robert, come back.
Yes.
And the great thing about Robert that people are saying, because he still seems pretty spry. I've seen him at conventions and things like that. People that have posted convention videos. Mm-hmm. And he seems pretty spry. And I'll say it's a situation where they put the Freddy makeup on, so he's kind of ageless anyway. So if he can still move around, I'd love to see it. But I guess it depends on if his heart's still in. But it seems like it is. It seems like he's burning to do it again. The wit is endless, Rhiannon.
That's one thing I really do like about Freddy is his just smart-assy one-liners. You're like, that's fucking funny. And they can be scary and funny at the same time. I just love the shit he says. Like, whenever they're up there fighting, and he's like, hey, asshole!
That is so funny that you say that, because that is one of my favorite parts of that. Hey, asshole! Up here! I love that. I do love that scene.
Yeah.
And I always hate it because the TV version cuts that out for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. Sometimes they don't. And it ruins that because they cut out a lot of that banter.
Mm-hmm. That was fucking
Man,
hilarious.
the torpedo.
Yep. So I loved that part. The guy, the boyfriend. Did you know that was John Ritter's son?
Yeah. I was actually reviewing that today, and I had looked that up too. I was thinking he looks a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him on Wikipedia picture. He had like a facial hair.
Oh.
And I'm used to him be having that baby face when he played Will in Freddy vs. Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Is his name Jason Ritter? Isn't that what it is?
Tyson Ritter? Is it Tyson?
No, Jason. Isn't it? Let's look that up.
Let's look.
Let's have our producers look that up. Can someone look that up? You see how professional we can get?
Let's see.
The producers looking things up.
I thought it was Tyson Ritter, but I might be wrong. I don't know how many Ritters
No,
there are.
It's Ritter, and I just looked it up a little while ago, and I should have it. It's not Will Ritter, because Will was, I thought it was Jason Ritter.
It's Jason Ritter. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my, I'm right.
Jason
See,
Ritter.
I knew I was right. I've been wrong before, Rhiannon, as I tell my family. I was wrong. It was this one time where I thought I was wrong, but I really wasn't. That was the one time when I was wrong. So I thought I might be right on that.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Jason
Sure.
Ritter.
Tyson Ritter
Yeah,
is actually All-American Rejects.
Now, who is the actor? And this I meant to look back up too. There was an actor who I believe passed away not long after that had the role before Jason Ritter, but he had a substance problem.
Oh.
So so that you could find that easily, and I should have written that one down. Yeah, but you'll say, ask who the original Will was on Freddy vs. Jason. You'll know the actor, and some people might be screaming at the screen right now because they know who it is.
I know. I'm trying to look it up.
But it was actually someone that they had hired, and it's someone who was pretty well known, and I believe died of heroin overdose. But
Oh, shit. Did you know Rey Mysterio was in it?
That I didn't know.
I didn't know either. I just saw it. He was the Jumper.
Oh, I didn't recognize him without the mask.
Well, yeah, right.
If I had seen one of the mask.
I've always wanted to know what he looks like. Like I've searched a few times just to kind of see what he looks like.
Did he unmask at some point? I believe he did. I could be wrong about that, but I think they unmasked him at some point.
I'm sure he did. I didn't see that one, but I know I used to always try to Google it, and this is before Google was super huge. I would try to Google what he looked like, and there was nothing on him. And I know a few years back I found it, but now I forgot what he looked like.
Yeah, I'm not a giant wrestling fan anymore. And I never, I like the old, back in the day, the Ultimate Warrior stuff, and all that. And I did watch around the Triple H time, like when he first came in, as you know, in the early 2000s, like the Attitude Era. I liked that when I was younger and old. But I haven't watched a lot. It fell off a little bit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, I purposely got myself stuck in that Attitude Era. That's why I stay. So I still send you, Rhiannon, the Triple H stuff and the Stephanie stuff and the old Stone Cold stuff and all that motivational stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So Brad,
it works for us.
It totally does, and I mean we were huge wrestling fans, and like that era is the era I liked. Eddie Guerrero, and when John Cena wasn't an actor and he was
right, and The Rock back in the day.
Yep. So Brad Renfro is who is supposed to play Will.
That's what it is, Brad Renfro. Yeah.
I didn't know that though until you said something.
Yeah, there's a I'm not sure what documentary. Dan Farrens, who Larry Zerner talked about, and I connected with on Facebook. Give Dan a shout out there. Mm-hmm. He did a documentary. He did the Friday the 13th and also the Nightmare on Elm Street documentary. In one of them, they detail Freddy versus Jason. And I believe they may mention Brad Renfro in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's in that one, but there was another one I saw you can find out there where they discuss him. Because I guess my memory's a little hazy on it, but I guess he came in for some reason, was hired for the part, but was really messed up at that time, and they couldn't keep it. So then they brought in John Ritter's son, Jason Ritter. That one thing, I think the acting overall, some people have knocked, but it was kind of campy, which a lot of them are. So
Yeah, no, it was a lot of it was campy, but it's like that's what we kind of love about them too. You know?
Well, yeah, you're not looking like to be moved when you know. We didn't go in the theater going, all right, now I want to learn a life lesson here. Really fun, you know. You're going in. You know what you're going in for. If it's you don't want it to take itself too seriously.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of want the old feel of the movies that we used to watch. You know, like that '80s
and it was
feel.
fun. Yeah, I looked up. Was it Kelly Rowland, who was in Destiny's Child? She was in it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was looking her up too, just looking up people what they're doing now. And she's actually married to Tim Witherspoon, who was a boxer back in the day. Who I used to watch too. So I didn't know they were married. I guess I'm behind the times. I think they've been married for a few years.
Dang, I didn't know that.
But Tim Witherspoon, he was a pretty good fighter. But they're married. I didn't know that. So maybe not now because it was like an hour ago when I looked it up, and sometimes these
they kind of break up real quick.
But I'll check it before when we're done. I don't know.
Are they still together?
But if Tim's watching out there, he was a badass. So I'm just kidding. I don't want to see him at a convention. Have terrible Tim come in.
He'll be like, I remember.
He's getting up there in age, though. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can take him now. I could take him.
Mm. She was in one of the Halloweens too. Was it Resurrection that she was in?
Was she? That was her in that one too. I know, or was it Tyra Banks?
Oh, it was Tyra Banks.
Wasn't Tyra Banks? Yeah. But it was like around that time period, though.
Yeah.
With that whole, that type of music, that whole sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she was in with Busta Rhymes.
I remember that. Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like that one. I love Busta Rhymes' music. I'm a big Busta Rhymes fan. But in Halloween, that was. Resurrection was not the strongest entry in the series.
No.
But it was had its entertaining parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
That's actually one I did see in the theater. I forgot about that one. See how memorable it was?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I did too. I just remembered that too.
And I was in Florida when
I know why you did. I know exactly why you did, because you had seen H2 on the theater like me, and you loved it. So right when Resurrection came out, and you saw Jamie Lee was in it, because they pumped. We didn't know she was going to be in it for 5 minutes, but they pumped it up. So we went and thought that it was going to be something like that, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But I was living in Florida when it came out, so, down in Florida, everybody was all for Busta being in there, and it was so packed and so fucking loud. It was obnoxious to where you couldn't even, really concentrate on the movie, and every time he'd come on, there, people are yelling, Busta! Fucking Busta! And I was like, holy shit, you're, ruining the movie.
And you're a purist, so you were getting mad.
Oh, yeah, I was getting mad. I was like, this is fucking
I saw that in the theater too. Like I said, I was pretty, I will say I was disappointed compared to H2O. I really loved that one. Resurrection's one of those ones that every now and again, just if you haven't seen it in a while, you're like, oh shit, I forgot this was around, let's put it in.
Yeah.
So it can be cool. Yeah, I saw, speaking of movies I saw in the theater where I didn't get into, I saw, again, Friday the 13th, 8, Jason Takes Manhattan in the theater.
Dang.
And it was in Nashville. They had come out with a theater. I don't even know if it's still around. It was called Mirror 8. It was new then. And I don't know what the name of it now is. It's probably changed name. But I had met this girl at a wedding. Remember, Jason Takes Manhattan came out in 1988. So I was young. But I met this girl at a wedding. I was with my family, whatever. She was with family, whatever. I must have met her. I was so young, 12. So we hadn't seen each other. Little kids, it was all cute. Every now and again call her and say, hey, how you doing? She'd say, oh, great, and hang up, and she's my little girlfriend because I was 12 and she was 12. But I remember saying, hey, let's go to a movie. Oh, shit. Right? She said, for the first time we were ever going to see each other, since this one time we had met at this wedding for an hour, and slow danced.
Aw, you slow danced.
So I say, she says, okay, I'll go to a movie. So my suggestion, holy shit, Friday the 13th 8's coming out, this is perfect, because I have to see that. So I'll never forget. First of all, I effed up right away, right? Because I'm not thinking that maybe she won't be into this, So we go to the theater. First of all, we went at 3:00 or whatever the earliest showing was.
The matinee
in the afternoon, and on a Thursday or Friday. It was some ridiculous. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I decided, she's like, I'm going to bring a friend if you don't mind. My mother's going to drop me off. I said, oh, I'm going to bring a friend of mine, my friend Chris. So we go, first of all, we're the only 4 in the theater. There's no one else that went at all. And I seemed cheap right away because I remember I went up to the window. And they said, and I think I was 13 actually at the time, by the time the movie came out. But I tried saying I was 12 to save $1 because I think it was cheaper if you were younger. And I heard, but they didn't. I don't remember how it was back then because they didn't have an issue with me going in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a rated R movie. I don't remember. Maybe her mother said it was okay if we went, or whoever was behind me or whatever brought us. But then I remember she kind of looked at me. And I remember even then thinking this chick must think I'm cheap, even though I was 12 or 13. So at that point, I think I had already turned her off, in terms of liking me. So we go in the theater. It was the most uncomfortable effing time that any of the 4 of us had ever had. First of all, it's Friday 8, and it's not the best entry in the series either. No offense to Keanu or anybody else in that movie. But she wasn't into it. And she's sitting with her friend. I remember we all looking straight ahead. And I'm thinking, I could feel it even then. I'm like, this chick does not like me. Just wants to get the fuck out of here.
Aww.
So the movie ends. Yeah, the movie ends. And they heard her friend were out of there. And we never spoke again. And that was it. That's my story that I went into this long, drawn-out story about what happened at the movie theater. But I think I blew it all. So it taught me a valuable life lesson because I think where I really blew it, number one, was the pick of the movie. Mm-hmm. I decided that I wouldn't bring a first date to a death movie like that. And also when I tried to be cheap and get the cheaper price on the ticket. I remember my old man, my stepdad, when he was alive too, I told him, oh, don't do that. You got to do that. If you're going to do that, you got to make sure she's not there. He said, don't do it with her over your shoulder. I said, well, Dad, I didn't know she was over my shoulder. I said, well, he said, that's a rookie mistake. You'll learn.
Aww.
And I did. I learned.
Yeah. See, I would have been like, shit, yeah, get the cheaper price. Say your name if you have to.
Yeah. But we didn't ever speak again. Yeah, that was it. I blew it. So thanks a lot, Kane Hodder, and Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Bud didn't take the date because that was it. What? Jason killed everybody, including my relationship with that girl. So, but I'm lucky, though, because I ended up with Allison. I don't say ended up. I got without because of it. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes. So
my heart was broken at 12 years old, but it bounced back.
Mm-hmm. You're resilient.
Very. But I do remember it was, I do remember being upset with that movie because it really was. People have said it's like Jason Takes a Boat instead of Jason Takes Manhattan. It really was. I remember even at that age, I was like, when does Jason get to New York? But come on. And then New York looked so much like Vancouver. That's where they filmed most of it. So.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you're missing out.
Sounds like it.
It's not the best entry. But it's one of those entertaining ones, though. Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy 7, which Kane Hodder was in, too, which I referenced earlier, Untitled Blood. Mm-hmm. And that was the Carrie versus Carrie, Tina. Laura Parkland plays the character Tina.
I did see
that. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Allie likes that one, too. I think it's because of the badass chick thing.
Yeah.
So
that one was good.
I watch her and she loves it. I'm like, wait a minute, I always say I'm Jason. So this girl's kicking Jason's ass and you love her. What are you doing? What are you seeing here? But no, she likes it.
Yeah, that one was good. And I think the first one I saw was 6. Wherever he got resurrected was the first one I saw.
Jason Lives, 1986, Part 6.
Okay.
With Tom Matthews.
Yep.
Speaking of people, hopefuls will get on the show soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I reached out to Tom responded, and I got back to him with his request that he asked for. So we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put that good energy out there. And I told Tom, I guarantee you. I said, I guarantee you'll have fun on the show. Ask around. Mm-hmm. Ask around. Or just watch the shows.
Yes. That would be super.
But no, that would be awesome to have Mr. Matthews on the show. I know a lot of people, I loved him in Part 6. And we also loved him as Freddie in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I really liked that.
And I believe that was 1985, if memory serves me right. So I believe he did that one. And then he did Jason Lives right around the same time.
Okay.
So yeah, he was all over the place back in those days.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I do.
Out of the Living Deads, I think my favorite one is Return of the Living Dead 3.
You know what's funny is I was going through Primal like I do, because I still, I haven't done, I'm embarrassed to, I haven't told you, because I knew you'd yell at me. I still haven't watched Evil Dead. I bought it. I told you when I bought it, I still have it. I started watching it. I'll tell you what I watched. Where all of a sudden, there's like this thing racing, and they're in the car. And I saw your husband, was it Bruce Campbell?
Yes.
I saw him at the beginning, but because I don't know much about, there he is. I knew he was in the background. And I see him staring at you. He's actually staring at me like, hey, what are you doing? Like, he's keeping an eye on me.
Yeah.
And he's right over your shoulder. Yeah.
He's watching everything.
Ride or die, right? Ride or die.
Yep.
But I saw him in the beginning, which I thought he was, I don't know anything about it yet. But I want to watch it. So I'm going to.
You have to.
And I had another whole point to that. I was going to talk about going through my Prime list. So we were talking about a different movie. I probably rudely interrupted you again, as I often do.
No, you didn't. I'm just trying to remember what you said. Something about you saw the part going through the beginning, the rolling through the beginning.
Oh yeah, but we were talking. You had mentioned some other movie too. We'll remember it. But no, I do have to watch Evil Dead. I have to watch that one again too.
Yeah.
But we were talking about. Oh, that's what it was. Ding ding ding. Return of the Living Dead. I didn't even know there was like a part 2 and 3 until recently, and I was going through the Prime stuff, and it's on Return of the Living Dead. I went into the, other movies you may like. It was a while back, and Return of the Living Dead 2, and Tom Matthews is in that as well, which I didn't know. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm almost afraid to admit it. It's almost like if you admit you're an alcoholic, because you don't want people to know that you didn't know these things. I didn't know that Tom Matthews is. I didn't even know there was a Return of the Living Dead 2. So I didn't. People like you're not a purist. You haven't seen Evil Dead. You don't know shit.
Yeah,
you know
crazy.
Tom Matthews was in Return of the Living Dead 2. You don't know shit. Yeah, but I got to see 3 as well.
Yeah, 3 is. I love 3.
What is it? Is that that's not the Rave to the Grave one? Is that one of them or something?
No, it's the one where
I think it's a few.
She puts like glass and stuff in her face, and she's kind of like still half human but half not, and she has to like eat flesh to feel better, but she's not completely turned. It's really weird, but it's so good. Like, she rips this dude's spine out by his head. She rips him up. It's so good.
Do you know what just hit me? It just hit me. We should do a watch party where we watch like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And you can help me watch it and break it down as we go through it. We could almost like a rip track. Not really, but I could watch it. And I could lose my Evil Dead virginity right on the air.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. So you can see my shock and everything else. Yeah, we'll think of something like that.
I've never done a watch party, so I don't know how to do it. But
I haven't either.
No?
I don't know. We're both scared, but I think if we hold hands and jump at the same time, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. We might have a copyright issue, so we'll have to look into that more. I think if we overlay it or if we do something like that, if you kind of do something to where you're not putting out like the original release, we'll look into it. We'll figure it out.
Hell yeah, like a commentary.
Well, tell you what, we'll have the people that work for the show research it. Okay, everybody, research that.
You guys,
everybody,
for us.
If you can hear the type, yes, thank you. And you can hear the typewriters and all the things going off everywhere. That's people.
Yep.
We're on it. We're on it now.
Oh,
Larry Zerr out there, we'll make sure that he studies the legalities of it.
Yeah.
Make sure we do it.
Yep,
But
see?
actually, now that I said that, I will ask him.
Yeah.
Larry, are we allowed to do that? Because he'll tell us yes or no.
Yeah, see? Great idea.
And then Friday 3 will be when we break down. We'll have Larry, because he said he'll come back on. We'll have him help us break down 3.
Yeah. It's a great idea.
Say, Larry, look at how much your throat was gashed wide open. How many stitches did that take to close up after the shoot? Kind of like when Chris' head, I told him it was great because he stayed in character when Jamie Lee cut his head off in H2O. So you never blink. He said, you have to stay in character. So I wonder how long it took them to reattach Chris's head. It looks great. You would never know it got cut off.
Yeah, and he keeps coming back for more. So
really good seamstress, obviously. Very, very good seamstress. Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Real quick, one of the parts I did not like, though, in Freddy vs. Jason, I didn't like the caterpillar. Like how he's
no, it's funny because I saw something again about with Brad Cinema Studies when I was watching that review, and they had some of the effects from like the original Nightmare and some of the earlier movies that were. I didn't like that either. That worm thing,
yeah.
CGI. It was too. I didn't think it was necessary at all.
No,
it was kind of cringy. You know, as a fan, it was one of those rare moments where you're almost annoyed because it seems like it's making a mockery. You know, where it's so ridiculous that it's not scary, it's stupid.
Yeah, like Alice in Wonderland type caterpillar. It was just.
Yeah, like this. If I'm in the mood, I'll watch a Cheech and Chong movie. If I wanted to watch Cheech and Chong, I'd go watch Cheech and Chong. But I didn't think it fit. I don't know if it was just an opportunity to try and sneak in that CGI, but
shouldn't have done it though. Or if they were going to do something like that, do the practical effects with it, like they did in was it number 3? Was it Dream?
Actually, that's what it just popped into my head. That's what Brad was referring to as Nightmare 3 with the worm, where Freddy. They actually do the practical effect where they built that.
Yeah.
And he actually showed that versus the worm, how much better that 87 part of 3 was.
Okay.
Good shot.
I was watching this documentary the other day, and it might be the one that you were talking about, that was on all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Every single one they hit. And they showed, like, the guy, I can't remember his name, but he's the one that had at first sculpted the worm. And they said it looked like a penis or something like that.
Looked too phallic. Yeah, it was Dan Farrens. He was the director of is it Never Sleep Again, I believe is the name of the documentary.
Oh, okay.
And it does. If people haven't seen it out there, it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's right around 5 hours, which seems like a lot, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks down all that, and it has all the people involved. And they were mentioning Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, and how what Rhiannon was referring to is that sculpture when they walked in the movie, for the people that haven't seen it, or refresh the people that have, it's more of a greenish, kind of dark gray, kind of slimy. But they said when they walked in originally and saw it being worked on, it was like pink. It was like flesh color. So it looked like a big schlong. They're like, this is so phallic, we can't have this in here. And I don't think that was intentional. It wasn't like it was Nightmare 2 where they were putting little things in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was one of those things you don't realize it while you're like working on it. Because you're so focused, you don't realize when people walk in. But I guess, and I can see it now that you even see it in Part 3. Like if you put a different color on it,
yeah,
you could see where it'd be.
It's a huge dick.
Yeah, but it came out great in Part 3. But yeah, the worm definitely didn't do it for me. Especially the worm sitting there smoking a bomb. This is Freddy versus Jason. I'm not.
Yeah, it
you know,
was so weird.
It wasn't really. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm a normal guy, man. When I go to a Freddy or Jason movie, I want to see death.
Yes.
I'm a normal person. I want to,
killing and all that, not a fucking worm smoking a bong. And the guy kind of reminded me of Jay and Silent Bob. He reminded me of Jay.
Yeah, it was just too much. Like the scene. A lot of people have ripped on the scene where they're at the card table and the cop walks in just randomly.
Yeah, just like walks in. Hey guys.
And it's like, hey, and it's so bad, that scene. It is bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain parts I fast forward through because again, I'm not there for the dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his name was Jason Voorhees. How do you know that?
And everything. Nobody like really questioned like the non-reality of it. Everyone's pretty cool with. Like no one seems to like go, wait a minute, this doesn't. None of this. They're like, oh yeah, that's natural. Mm-hmm. And then she just conceptualizes somehow. I get it. Wait a minute. Freddy's afraid of fire. Jason in water. How can we use that? What? Where did you ever pull that out of your crap?
Yeah.
Because I don't even know when. So then all of a sudden it starts. But again, it was one of those things. It's a movie. Alison always says to me, my wife,
that's
Dave, it's a movie. Just take it for what it is. You try and make everything literal. You're going to drive yourself more crazy.
You're like, how the fuck did that make sense?
More.
Yeah.
No, it's a.
I don't know.
What's that?
I was going to say something about what you just said. I just can't remember what it was.
Did you have a brain? Did you just pull a Bud Veno?
Yes.
It's coming through
the computer.
We were talking about the worm smoking a bong, and you had a contact high from talking about it.
Yeah, because there was so much freaking smoking.
Right. He does blow a lot of smoke on it. He gets Silent Bob. Was it Silent Bob's?
Jay.
It looks like he gets him ripped just from blowing it in his face.
He's all,
that's some good shit. But then that scumbag ate all the Hypnosil.
Yeah, dumped it all down the drain.
Yeah. As he was pretending Freddy was twitching a little. And then people didn't like, too, that the dude injected Jason with the Hypnosil and somehow Jason passed out, although he's a resurrected zombie several times over in that movie. So I'm not sure how tranquilizers would affect him, since bullets don't.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It knocked him out. Somehow a zombie can sleep. So I wasn't sure. So again, one of those little plot holes.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
That's what Allison tells me that too. You're not supposed to. You ruin it. She gets annoyed with me sometimes because I'm ruining the fun of it. Because I'm like, I'll watch something and be like, that couldn't happen. Let me tell you why. She'll be like, I don't want to hear why. You know it can't happen. We're not watching a fucking documentary.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. I know I wasn't going to say anything. It's like, you're right, babe. You did say that. I'm like, but you know that's impossible.
You just keep slipping it in there. Yeah, it's a movie, but it's impossible. Yeah,
my wife
really weird.
My wife has learned to do what I know a lot of people that I tell it's okay. When I get on a roll sometimes, you can just zone out. And as long as you nod politely, even if I know you're not really paying attention, I'm cool with it. And I think my wife says, no, I'm always paying attention. But I think sometimes she's mastered agreeing with me.
Yeah.
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 The best way.
No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to pretend like I'm just agreeing with
you.
you.
Exactly. But you and I have dealt with each other so long, and you're allowed to do that too. Allie will tell you some of the tricks of it too, but I think you're learning pretty quick. The things to just let roll off, and the things to take seriously.
I still really liked those messages though, where you were pretty pissed. I'm like, oh man, the person that crosses him, I would not want to.
Yeah, you liked that. Yeah, I was pretty hot. But I knew too, just for the comedic value, like you said, I definitely am going to listen to those later on, just for the effect of it.
Yeah, I listened to them twice.
I listened to them actually after I woke up that second time because I was still in some pain, but I was laughing when I listened to them.
Yeah.
Because I said Allison that morning. I said, I vented to Rhiannon a little bit. I said, nothing directed toward her. I said, because Rhiannon and I, it's not, we love you. We would never do that. We have an awesome relationship. It's nothing like that. Allison knows that. But I vented to you. And it was wonderful because we vent to each other. That's what great friends do. Yeah. And we make light of it later when sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah.
Just need to, let loose sometimes. So it was fun. I took advantage of it. Let loose.
Well,
but I knew you'd laugh at most of it.
Well, even like through it, and you're like, and this isn't towards you. This isn't directed at you.
I was like, oh. Just Rhiannon, just know this isn't for you. But I gotta say this because I'm just gonna vent. Just listen to me or don't. It has nothing to do with you, really. I'm just gonna say this, just me personally. Here we go. And it had nothing to do with you. It was just me venting about life thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny looking back because it was. If you look back, and we won't get into it, but. And I knew, too, the stuff that I was upset with was so because of being overtired. It was ridiculous. And the wonderful thing about Rhiannon and my friendship with you, Rhiannon, the people out there, she knows me well enough to when, she knows, just give it, certain time, and he'll totally laugh about it later. Don't just let him vent. And vice versa. With you, certain things when we're overtired.
Yeah.
Especially if you know the person and things they're saying are just... hey, I'm going to vent. This is bothering me. Nothing to do with us, just about different things in life. And then later, I'm like, wow, I was, Rhiannon, thank you. Well, I had a cunty moment. That's what I said.
Thank you for listening to my cunty moment. I'm so sorry. I'm like, you don't got to be sorry.
I said, it doesn't happen often, so savor the flavor. But it does every now and again.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to vent. And speaking of vent, my friend John Mondu knows how that is. The aforementioned John Mondu that I grew up. We've both been in those cunty areas, but he takes it and vice versa, where he's a good friend. So.
Oh, good.
You listen to each other vent sometimes. And my wife, of all people, she's caught most of it in terms of my venting at times over the past 13 plus years. But I've done it for her too. So.
Allison doesn't vent. What do you mean? She's perfect.
Oh, she's my wife, so she has to be. Somewhat pretty hard, in terms of, she can, Well, it's me. I told her though, she's lucky too because they say men can. You know me well enough to. They say men aren't innately nurturing. I'm very nurturing with my kids and loving and kissing, but I'm also very alpha male, as you know, Leanne.
Yeah.
I don't. So, but my point is, I always tell them like, it's great you've been with me because I don't like I say it right away, and I don't like if I have something to say to somebody, or if someone's an asshole, they'll know it right then. I don't say it later to my wife.
Yeah.
And I say it right then. But I said it's been good for my wife because it's toughened her up in life because she'll certain things she won't put up with that she may have before she was with me. She's a tough one, but she's an absolute sweetheart too.
Yeah,
we treat people accordingly. Yep. The sweetest people in the world, really, but not if you're not a good person.
Not if you're cunty.
Yeah, not if you're cunty.
You're cunty, go for
but my wife and I will put you in the trunk and we'll help look for you. Don't test it. Trust me. Trust me. I got that one from Chris Duran, actually. He put that meme up. I'll load you in the trunk of my car and help watch search parties search for you. Don't fucking test me.
I love it. I love it because it's true.
Yeah. Allie Wood. She'll wave too. No, we don't know.
She's like, I don't know who that person is.
Look like a librarian. A little Harley Quinn. And we got Rhiannon too. Rhiannon's a badass too. So now we do the show too, and we all get along great. That's even more good.
Mm-hmm.
Rhiannon, Allie loves you, and I know vice versa.
I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah, she encourages the fuck out of this connection, and it's been wonderful in that way.
Yeah.
It's great partnership all the way around.
Definitely. I couldn't have asked for a better best friend and a better co-host.
Yes. It's fun. And I said this would be fun, too, because we were just going to roll. Mm-hmm. And I said, we'll probably talk a little about Freddy vs. Jason. We'll do a little bit of everything to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I've had fun.
Yep. Talked about Rotten.com, talked about Faces of Death, talked about Freddy vs. Jason, talked about Halloween.
Yeah, and if no one even watched, I'll still watch later just to see the fun times we have.
Yes.
It's weird. Yeah, we can let our narcissism out a little bit and watch each other.
We're so awesome.
So pretty. God. And we always tell each other how gorgeous we are every day to keep our confidence up, because we are. We look good for 25 years old.
Yeah. We haven't aged today.
So we will recommend Freddy vs. Jason to everybody.
Definitely.
And yes, and we're getting closer to Halloween, so it's actually Halloween month Eve because we're the month before. So everybody out there, you're allowed to go watch horror movies now. And since most places won't have trick-or-treating, that's kind of all we have right now.
Yeah.
So go out there and watch Freddy vs. Jason 2003, and then go out and watch H2O with our man Chris Duran, Friday 13th 3 with Larry Zerner from 82. Or any of the Friday night. Oh, you got to mention Nightmare on Elm Street from 84. Go watch the original.
Yes.
There was a movie. I give a shout out to my friend Shane Jubert, too, who I grew up with. There was a movie we watched. I was trying to think of the name of it. And the movie was called Crazy People. It was with, I hadn't seen it since like 1990 when I was with him. But the movie the thing I remember about it was a movie basically about truth in advertising, from what I can remember. But one of the catchphrases was, for a certain movie, said that this movie won't just scare you, it'll fuck you up for life. That was like the realness in advertising. But see, I always think of that with Nightmare on Elm Street 1 from 84, the original, because I don't know about kids today because they're kind of desensitized. But that movie is freaky.
It is. I was scared.
That movie is effing freaky. And you know one thing, too, that we've talked about, Rhiannon, and my wife and I have talked about, too, is I think a lot of people today, a lot of the splatter and the really visual, like right in your face sort of horror, they're missing a lot of that 78 Halloween point. There wasn't a lot of blood in the original 78 Halloween. It's they're saying anticipation of death is often worse than death itself. So it's those sort of fears. It's not necessarily the literal, like always seeing the knife gouge through. Sometimes it's just certain, fears or different things like that, or the way a movie is shot that really brings that fear into it, that edge of your seat stuff. And Halloween does that in the original 1984. Nightmare on Elm Street definitely does that. Yeah. So we implore people to go check those out and get a little more scared this Halloween and watch some fun stuff. I'm going to go watch Human Centipede.
Oh, man, tell me what you think.
John even told me that movie was disgusting, and John's disgusting, just like me. Oh. So if he said it's disgusting, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
That's weird logic. John said don't, and he's disgusting, and I'm disgusting, and he loves me because he's my friend. He said don't, so I'm going to have to go buy it.
Yeah, you got to do it just because I want to know what you think about it.
I'm going to make Allie watch it too.
Oh gosh, she's going to hate it.
I've a couple times I've posted videos of, because I'll make, and Allie likes it. She likes to watch the horror movies. I fucked that girl up. But I'll post videos of me, like, watching videos, like, you know, horror movies, and filming her reactions to certain things. I did it with It.
Oh,
like,
okay.
and she's, so I'll have to do it with, like, Human Centipede. I'll film, like, I'll send you the It reaction, too. It's fun.
Okay. So you're going to have to do, when you watch Human Centipede, you're going to have to do a reaction of Allison, because I guarantee you she's going to hate it or she's going to walk out.
Maybe she'll vomit. I want to get a really good one. No, her reaction videos are good because they're genuine. Like, I try and catch her when she doesn't know I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it has a hint, but I try and hide. Usually I'll hide the camera. She's so focused.
Mm-hmm.
To see it till, like, the end, so they're perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Organic.
Yeah,
that's good.
And you'll have to post it. She's not going to be able to look away from this one. As bad as she wants to, she's going to be, like, so disgusted she has to watch it.
Like a car wreck?
Yeah.
She's voyeuristic. She'll dig that.
Oh.
And I'll have to post that on Sinister Parlour. I'll post it on the page, the reaction to Human Centipede.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, man. You guys are in for a disgusting treat.
Yeah. The things I put my wife through. She loves it. She's a glutton for punishment.
All right. So, I guess with that, then, you said you're going to watch it tonight, right?
Well, I'm going to look for it on Prime. I'm not sure if Prime has it, but I will find it. I'm sure I'll be able to find it. Yeah. And I will. And I will report to you as soon as I do. I'll report to you tonight.
Okay.
I'll tell you where.
Oh, man.
And then the zombie Barbie-ness will come after me and make sure that I watch it.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll be like, all right, now that you watched Human Centipede, time to watch The Evil Dead.
Right. So you got to keep me to task with these things.
Yeah. I'll make you
So
like a little
if we're going to do the exits, I'll do one of mine right now.
Okay.
Rhiannon, Nicole, Zombie, Barbie, Bud Veno, September 12th, 2020, exiting in about a little after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Rhiannon, I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much, as always. It's been great. We're going to do this again next week. And stay tuned. We've got some great guests out there, people that we have lined up already, and we're locking in more times. People out there, go ahead and email Sinister Parlour Podcast if you'd like to get on the show. And I'm going to let you give a shout out to everybody out there that helped so much in terms of sharing the show and my indie productions. Give a shout out to them. My family, including my boys and my wife, Allison. I love you, baby. Thank you for being born and putting up with me. Not always easy, but it is an adventure. Again, Rhiannon, I love you, and everybody out there. Chins up. It's not over till you say it's over. Join us next week. You never know who will be joining us.
Yeah.
You never know. Hint, hint.
Ooh, who do we got? Oh, man. All right. So I want to thank you, as always, for being one of my best friends in the entire world, always being there for me, being my co-host. I love you so much. I love your family. I love hearing Allison laugh in the background when you're doing weird, like, funny shit on your voice messages, and she's like, ha ha ha, just laughing. She's like,
I told her that today. I said, and I always say that. I said, Rhiannon loves your laugh. She can't help it. She always does that. I crack her up. That's part of a good marriage.
Yes.
Laughing a lot. Thank you.
You guys definitely got that. And I'm so happy for you guys. I love you too. I want to thank, my indie productions as well. Johnny Ellenberger for doing our intro music and logos, artwork, all of that good stuff. Chris Atella for doing our outro music, and then the outro music for iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that fun stuff. I want to thank Crazy Ink Publishing for publishing my books. I have Broken Halo and Broken Halo Blood Curse. My third one, Broken Halo Witches Game, will be out, I believe, in March. We are also doing a box set where there's going to be about 25 authors. It's called Possessed by Passion. So if you're not following the website or the Facebook page or any of that, follow it now, because you'll get all these updates. You'll get to see all of our covers, blurbs, kind of what it's about. We're going to try taking this box set to the top. So any followers and support would be fabulous. I want to thank Spencer Gray and Scott C. Sanford for casting me in this new movie that's going to be coming out called Axe to Grind Part 2. We'll be filming in December, so I'm super excited to meet the cast and to just be part of this production. I couldn't be more grateful. And with that, I am done, and we will see everybody next week.
What? One last thing, Rhiannon, if I could, before we go. Happy birthday to Judy Allard out there from myself and my family. We love you, Judy. And to Lisa, the Consolidated Communication works over there. I promised to give Lisa a shout-out.
Aww,
so there's my 2 extra ones out there, and I'll give more next week. I love you, everybody. Thank you, Rhiannon. We love you.
Love you, too.
And Sinister Parlour loves you guys, everybody out there. Thanks for everybody that tunes in and everybody that helps out.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Love you.